What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today, I have a really fun topic. I will make predictions on the new set and what I think some of the new colors are going to be, some new mechanics, and all of that. So let's get right into it. There are some things that were already announced, and there are some things that were hinted at. So I'm going to go over what was hinted. During one of the live streams, they mentioned 3 different things, and I'm assuming these are going to be for different color of Neopets that you can have. So the first one was Wallace and Gromit. Next one was Fresh Linen. And the last one was Library. I initially was thinking that the Wallace and Gromit was going to be the clay Neopets, because Wallace and Gromit, I believe, was like clay animation. And so I initially thought it was going to be clay Neopets. When I looked up clay Neopet paintbrushes, there was none, because the only way to get a clay Neopet is through the Library. And they already said that they are not doing Library in the next set. They might do Library in the future, but it's not a for sure thing just yet. So I had to rule out the clay Neopets. Doing so, I started going through all the different Neopet colors and which ones had paintbrushes and which ones didn't. Thinking about the different criteria that they are probably going to be looking for. They probably want a color that is going to draw people in. Just a color that's like super popular, everybody wants. And I think some of those colors are going to be like Tyranian, Darrigan, Mutant, and so on and so forth. That being said, I think every color is somebody's favorite, right? But I think there has to be a huge draw to like a color that most people find interesting or cool. I think in Defenders of Neopia, the ghost pets are a huge hit, fairies are a huge hit, and then the smaller ones were kind of like rainbow and starry and fire. Like, yeah, those are some people's favorites, but probably more people like the fairies, more people probably like the ghost compared to the starry and fire and rainbow. So I have to think, okay, what's going to draw people into the set? My next one is, which one's going to be the hit of the box, right? The chase, like the first set had rainbows, right? One per 24 box, give or take. And then for silvers, it's like 2 per box, give or take. I think they hinted at one of the hits for this box coming up. But going back to the Wallace and Gromit, I really liked clay a lot. I thought clay was going to be the for sure thing. And then I realized there's no paintbrush. My next thing was, okay, Wallace and Gromit, I believe, is supposed to be in the UK and England area, and they have the royal family over there. And I think a really popular color is going to be the royal pets. In order to do the royal pets, though, they might have to do a royal boy and a royal girl. I'm not too sure if they will do both, or if they're going to pick one, or if they're going to alternate, or just have royal paintbrush and maybe have both of them be in the art. I'm not too sure how it's going to work. I mean, they could put both a boy and a girl royal pet in each box. And if they do, I'm curious if they have different stats too. All right, next prediction. So that one I think is going to be not the hit for the box, but I think it's going to be a normal, maybe SR rarity pet color. Next one was the Fresh Linen. Fresh Linen was kind of tricky because I had to think about what that really meant, right? Oh, also, for these, we had to make sure that every color pet is represented. With the royal pets, all 20 pets are represented. Actually, they have all 55 Neopets for both boy and royal boy, royal girl. That is a good contender, is the royal brush. They also said too that they are just sticking back to the normal 20 Neopets. They aren't bringing in anyone special. No Grundos, Kugras. What's the other one? Bruce. I'm not too sure if Akara or if Uni are going to be back or not, but I'm just going to say it's going to be the original 20 from Defenders of Neopia. But keeping that in mind, for Fresh Linen, I think it could be one or two. I think that they could do Cloud. I think Cloud is a pretty big draw for Neopet players. I think a lot of Neopet players love Cloud pets. So I think Cloud would be a good one to put in for set 3. And it covers all the Neopets, right? It covers all 20 of the original. Because I was thinking Fresh Linen is like airy, it's soft, like the clouds, right? Or I was thinking Fresh Linen could be white. And now white is pretty boring, but there are plenty of Neopet colors that are just a plain color, right? Like a lot of brushes, a lot of the basic stuff are just a plain color. They're gonna want to fill in plain colors too. Yeah, cool. Yeah, sure. They want all these fun colors and all these fun pets, right? But they also are going to need to do just the basic normal colors, which I think has been what the rainbow and the silver have been. They're both still really cool, but they are going to need to introduce just more plainer looking Neopets if they want this to keep going. Because there's only so many really cool paintbrushes that you can do. So I think it's either going to be Cloud or white. I'm kind of leaning on more towards white, just because I think I like white linens, white fresh linens, you know. So that's what I think for white. Also think because it's kind of basic, I think that white will be the chase for the box. I think that's going to be the one of, I think that that's going to be the one card that will just appear in each box. I might have said earlier that the Royals were going to be one per box. I didn't mean that actually. I meant them to be like pretty common-ish, maybe rare, you know, but I think the white will be the chase for the box, the hit for the box. Maybe not chase, but the hit for the box. And again, both white and Cloud both have 20 for their colors for Neopets. So I think that we could really do either or both. Both would be really cool. The last one is Library. Library is interesting because there are only 11 out of the 20 Neopets that can be painted. In the first set, we had 10 of each colored, or 10 of each painted pet minus rainbow. So we had 10 starry, 10 fire, 10 fairy, and 10 ghost. I think of this that we could also do the same thing. We could even do 10 royal boy, 10 royal girl, 10 origami, which means that there's probably, if I had to guess, which this is my predictions, I think there's going to be another color they have not announced yet. I don't think 3 is the only amount of colored pets we're going to get in set 3. So I think there's going to be another color. I'm not too sure what that could be. Maybe they're saving that, you know, maybe it's going to be a better color than what they already announced. Well, hinted at. I think the library hint was meant for origami, which the origamis are kind of cool looking. So if that is true, I would love to see them in card form. The reason why I think that there's going to be more than 3 announced was because in the first set, we had 5, right? We had our big hit for the box, the rainbow. Again, I think this is going to be the white Neopet, the linen, the fresh linen. Then we had 10 fairies, 10 Ghost, 10 Fire, and 10 Starry. And so minus the hit for the box, we had 4 painted pets. I think that's a pretty good amount to have a good variety of different pets and colors and archetypes and abilities and things to just use, you know, for existing decks, for new decks. So I would like to see them do something similar. So again, they could do white, maybe Royal Boy, Royal Girl. If they do the Royal Boy, Royal Girl, I think those would be the, I don't know, I could see them being like the foil, or I can see them being the not foil. But we got Royal Boy, Royal Girl, and then Origami, and then they would need one more. To compare that, we had the 5 painted pets for set 1, Defenders of Neopia. So set 2, the 25th anniversary set, they had 14 different color variations you can do for your Neopets. They had robots, burlaps, sponges, chocolates, silvers, rainbows, mosaics, the babies, 25th anniversary, garlic, Aisha, glad I did that again, alien, coconut, ice, MSP, and the mallow. So I think they're going to give us more than just 3 that they already listed. And of course they had the 4 colors. I think that's going to stay the same. The red, blue, yellow, green. Again, I think that the Kugras, Grundos, Bruce, Uni, and Akaras will be gone from this set 3, but I think the normal 3 are going to stay the same. One thing though it did mention was that the base color Neopets are going to have the color underneath it. So like how this ghost loop says ghost loop, they said that they're going to have the color underneath it. So it would say red cow. Oh, blue Kugra. It won't be this one. Yellow Gellert, green loop. So I have to think, why are they doing that? And I think that they might introduce the red paintbrush, blue paintbrush, yellow and green paintbrush, like the starter paintbrush. I think they might introduce those. What would be the point? If you had your ghost, if you had your loop out, you painted it to ghost, and then for whatever reason you want to go back to your basic green Neopet, you can. Because right now there's no way to go back to this. What would be the point of that? Right now, nothing. What I can predict is maybe they're going to have something that is special to Neopets with no abilities, right? So, like the ghost has an ability down here. Maybe they are going to say if this Neopet has no ability, such and such happens. So I think that'd be really cool. It would give the base Neopet cards something really cool. Not only just the base, but even just like rainbows where there's no ability on them would also make them a little bit more playable as well. So I think that'd be awesome to see like them show some love to the little basic guys. Next prediction is going to be regarding code stones. I don't know if we're going to get this in set 3, but I could totally see them having an upgraded code stone. Now in the game or on the website, there are red code stones, which once you hit a certain level, you can't use your normal Bree, EO code stones. You have to upgrade them to a red code stone. I think a red code stone would be really cool mechanic to add in. Some things that they could do to the red code stones. Let's take this Bree code stone right now. So if I had this loop on here, ghost loop, I would attach this and it would be a level 1 ghost loop with 2+1 agility. if this was a red code stone, I could see it working as in, instead of buffing one stat, it could buff two stats. And so instead of having like, what, 8 code stones, 9 code stones that we have, if there was a combination, you know, we had like 3 agility, 3 defense, 3 different attack. Instead of having that, we could have red code stone increase 2 stats. So either increase agility twice, or do 1 attack, 1 agility, or do 1 attack, 1 defense, or 1 defense and 1 agility, or 2 defense or 2 agility. I think that'd be really cool to have just 1 code stone be able to do that. It would also be nice to maybe eventually see a code stone buff the health. That would be kind of crazy, but I think that'd be really cool to see as well, is for the HP to be increased by a code stone. Another thing too that a red code stone could do is maybe give an ability. So you could have, you know, draw an extra card during your draw phase, or play, that'd be way too powerful, but play an extra card during your turn, or, you know, perform, you know, an equipment twice, or whatever the ability could be. I think those would be super overpowered, what I just said, but maybe instead of having all 5 of your levels be red code stones, maybe you can only have 1 red code stone attached to your Neopet. So if you have another red code stone in hand, you cannot play it because you already have one attached to your Neopet. So maybe that's how they could balance out the red code stones, is with that. You could also introduce the doubloons, which are like code stones, which increase your level. I think that the doubloons could work in the same manner that I just said for the red code stones. They either buff up 2 stats, buff up the HP, give your Neopet an ability. Again, maybe only play 1 of them, attach 1 of them to your Neopet per game. Those are just something that I think would be kind of cool, is to have the code stones, red code stones particularly, be in the game. I don't know if set 3 is the right set. Might be a little bit too powerful. I feel like set 4, set 5. You know, I think this year we're going to see red code stones, is my prediction. My next prediction is going to be obvious, but we're going to definitely see more legends and fairies, food, equipment, potions, you name it. We're going to definitely see more of it. Locations would be really cool to see more of. Like, there's so many cool places in Neopia that I would love for them to put on a card, right? Like, just having us like the Fairyland location, and that does something, or the Haunted Woods, you know, that all those would be really cool to see in the game. I think that the food, we will definitely get food. We're not gonna get hot dogs. Like, there's so much food, I think they're gonna stray away from hot dogs. Set 1, Defenders of Neopia, was really towards the Neopia side of things, right? So I think that they're going to find a new location, and they're going to pick items, equipment, food from that spot. So if we do have, you know, the Tyrania place, I think we're probably going to get some Tyrania pets, some Tyrania food, some Tyrania legends, potions, fairies that are tied to that area. Like, I think we're just gonna get, they're gonna pick a location and stick with it, or maybe 2 locations, right? Stick with both of them, like a counterpart of it. But we will for sure see more of all of these cards, for sure. We have to. Like, set 2 didn't give us any of these, so we have to really see like a whole bunch of these cards, which I'm so excited to see what they're going to do with it. I can't wait. It makes me excited just like thinking about what they could do, and what legends or fairies to use, and their abilities. I think it's, it just gets me so hopeful for what's to come. I mentioned that there's going to be that I would like to see locations. Um, it would be cool to see different places in Ethiopia, whether it's like a whole land or maybe it's like a shop, right? Like, you know, someone's like food shop or the pet shop or like, you know, the pet owner shop or whatever. Like, that'd be really cool. And speaking of pets, I don't know if they did this intentionally, but there's a lot of cards that have just random pets in the background, um, or in the foreground. Like, there's, they have a lot, right? Now, this could just be up to the artist. I'm assuming that if you love drawing Neopets, you also love drawing the baby, or not babies, the pets. And so, not sure if this is a hint or if these were just the artist themselves and their ideas of what they had. But like in Defenders of Neopia, we had Sticky Hand was a baby Kugra. Now I understand that baby Kugra, I think, is a battle opponent, right? I know baby Bruce is, but I don't know if baby Kugra is as well. And so they could just be, you know, taking things from the site, or maybe Upper Deck is telling them, hey, like, let's make sure to always add, when you do all of these, the whole set, make sure there's at least one pet in your drawings, you know? Oh, I think it was, and so, and as I'm sure there's way more pets in these cards. So I'm not sure that was a hint or if these are, again, the artists just love drawing Neopets, so they're going to draw the pets to go with them too. But I would like to see pets in the game for sure. I think they definitely said that pets are going to come to the game. They just never said when. And I'm not too sure if set 3 is the right set for them. I mean, any set is the right set for them. But maybe that's like their draw, is to get people to buy them the new set for the new pets. Who knows? But there's also so many pets and pet colors, and it's like, how do you choose like how do you choose? Like, are they just going to be regular, you know, like pets with no colors attached to them, and maybe they give like the pet special ability? Are the pets going to be in its own separate deck, or are they going to be in your main 50 card deck? Are they? It would be cool, so cool, if you had your Neopet out, and then you had your pet out, and the pet is like an equipment or a fairy where it doesn't go away. But maybe it's not like, oh, I guess you could. Do you equip your pet? Or, yeah, you might do that. But it could either be equipped or it could be in the play area. Another prediction that I have is I think we're going to see more cards in set 3 where they're going to be stayed in the play area. From my knowledge, there's only one card in both sets where it stays in the play area, and that is Punch Bag Bob opponent or something like that. He stays in the play area, and on a success during your battle phase, he does something, or defending phase, he does, I can't remember what he does, but he stays in the battle area until you get a roll of 1, 2, or 3, then he goes away. So I would like to see more of that integrated, where we have cards, legends, pets, where they stay potions, where they stay and play food, even. Like, I think that'd be just really cool to see that. Where they just stay in play until that, you know, you win or lose essentially, and then they get discarded. Speaking of the discard, I don't think it's going to be this set, but I think that they're going to do things with the Void. They're probably going to wait till the Void plot on Neopets website is over, but I could see them doing something where they have like a legend that says like interact with the Void, play a card from the Void, or send a card to the Void and then play a card from the Void. Like, I think that would be really cool to see that. We're not going to see this set because the Void Within plot is starting back up in March, and that's, I think, around the time that they're going to be releasing this set. So I don't think it's going to be that. I think it might be in set 4, maybe set 5, you know, but it's not going to be set 3. But I just wanted to say that now to get my idea out there. I think what's going to be really important with the new equipment, fairies, legends, etc., potions, food, everything, that we have cards that can make new archetypes, right? New keywords, build brand new decks that we've never seen before, like the burlap and how they have the scrapping mechanic. We've never had that word in before, but it would be cool if they had the set 3 has new abilities and new things to do and they interact with your cards, your opponent's cards. That's kind of a given, right? Like, that's always going to happen. But what I also hope happens is they add cards that make existing decks not playable again, but just you give more cards to existing decks, right? You give more like ghost decks. You give more cards that let you discard fairies. You give more cards that have the reveal word on it. I think that would be really cool. Or like something with dice where you can manipulate the dice. Maybe it's a fairy that says add 1 to your dice roll, or do something that manipulates either your dice or your opponent's dice. And I think that would just be really beneficial too, is not only looking forward to new cards, new abilities, etc., but also looking back and being reminded like, hey, we can still pull ideas from old cards and older sets to make them, you know, strong again or stronger or be more competitive. Because normally how sets go, especially like when they don't like change out the sets for the format, the new cards tend to be stronger than the old cards. And so to keep that from happening, you can always add new cards that make these cards more playable again. Some of the equipment that I love on Neopets website are the ones that are specific to the pets. Either it's like their helmet or their sword or their shield or their like body armor or something. I think that the ones that are species specific are really cool. I would like to see something like that in the next set. I think a species specific item might be too difficult, right? There's 20 of them, so giving each pet one item, like that might be a little bit crazy. But what they could do is give a color specific items, or a color specific fairy, or a color specific legend, right? Like if your Neopet is a fairy, give them +2 defense. If your Neopet is a basic color, red, blue, yellow, green, give them, 1 agility and 2 more health. Like, I think that would be really cool to see, like a color specific item. That way you can like know like, hey, this item or this card is only used for fairies, and I can only use it for fairies. It kind of limits that card, sure, but I think it would still be fun though to see something like that, just a species specific or a color specific. I think that would be really cool. Now I want to talk about what's going to coincide with set 3. I do think that there's going to be starter decks for set 3. I would predict that there are going to be 2 different sets of starter decks. They probably want one at the beginning of the year and one at the end of the year. And they kind of did that this year, right? Battledome started in the summertime. Same day, you could buy the 2 starter decks, Fire or Starry. And then during the holidays, they had a celebration box. I think they're going to do that again. I think they're going to, not celebration box, but I think they're going to have the starter decks, you know, when set 3 drops. And then for holiday, they're going to have another set of starter decks or some type of a celebration box or something along with that. But I think that the starter decks are going to for sure come. I loved that the starter decks had exclusive cards, they had exclusive pets. That was like such a good touch. And honestly, I love when starter decks do that, where they give you cards you can only acquire from that booster box, because it makes those booster or the starter decks makes those starter decks worth it more when you have exclusive cards. I think they should continue the trend of having exclusive pets be the face of the starter decks. They could be one of the new Neopets coming in set 4. That would be really cool. Nice little teaser for what's to come. Or it could be one of the 5 that they pulled from set 3 that was in set 2. That would also be cool. But I think starter decks are almost a guarantee. Like they need to do it for set 3. To be honest, like it's gonna bring in. I think it just starter decks just help new players out so much, and by the time set 3 would be released, you know, maybe all of the Fire and Starry starter decks are all sold out, so maybe they need new starter decks on the market. So I think starter decks are for sure coming in set 3. We are also going back to packs that have code stones. I hope that they take note from like Neo or Pokemon, where not every set has energy in each pack, because it is kind of annoying to keep opening up the same code stones over and over and over again, and it's just a waste of a spot in the packs. They're good for new players, but if you already have the code stones, you don't need any more code stones. So I could see them putting out code stones just because this is like the first set of the year, and then I hope going forward for set 4 and set 5 that there's no code stones. But I think for set 3 we will see code stones. Hope not. If we don't see code stones, I'll be super happy. But if we do, then I totally get it. And I think it is on my predictions that set 3 will have code stones. Set 3 will also introduce the OBL Pack 2. I think the first OBL was such a must-needed thing. Just having packs with special exclusive cards for stores and tournaments, what is a must, to be honest. And it gives players to come into the store every week and play, and just that like incentive to like come in and just show off your deck and just have fun. Like that's, I mean, you don't really need, I mean, it's just an added bonus, right? Like I would just go in just do it without OBL packs, but it makes it also feel worth it too when you can open up exclusive cards, or not cards, but like arts, you know? I think they definitely should keep the alternate arts still a thing. Chasing them has been so much fun. I have only opened one, which is the Breadmaster. Everything else was opened up by other people in my store, and it's just so much fun to like see the excitement and like the energy behind everyone opening up and finding an alternate art. And on top of that, it's just nice to see some exclusive cards that were only in like the starter decks appear here, like Nilo and many other cards. It's cool too that they also have a special foiling. I hope all of this stays for the next set. Having alternate art for code stones to spice them up. Like this is also definitely a must as well. I wouldn't be upset if OBL Pack 2 had double the amount of cards. It's just so nice to see all these cards that it's just so nice to see like all these different cards and the art for them. It's nice to like upgrade your deck with like really cool shiny cards too. So I'm predicting that OBL set 2 will also be released with set 3 as well. And plus, they already said that early on in this year, the OBL packs are gonna last for like 8 months. And it's been like what, 6 months now? So maybe a little bit shorter than 5 months. Not too sure. Not sure when the OBL packs came out. August? September? I think that it's time to get some new ones. And then going forward, I hope they cycle through these a little bit quicker. And then alternate arts, they definitely have been listening. And I hope going forward, they still listen to everybody and they take everything that we've said and wanted into consideration. Some things that people were asking for in Defenders of Neopia were the alternate arts were so hard to come by. Like the odds of pulling them were extremely high. Some of the Fiora, Queen Fiora, Jadora regular arts were incredibly hard to pull, which they're TCG. There should definitely be cards that are hard to pull. I agree with that. They definitely need to have chase cards. They need to have cards that bring people back to the boxes over and over again and try to get those rares and like the super duper rare cards, alternate art card. Then set 2, the celebration set, the alternate arts were really easy. Oh, they were easier to get. I managed to get one of each, at least one of each. So they were definitely a little bit easier to get than set 1, Defenders of Neopia. So I hope set 3, the alternate arts, they could be in a little bit of the middle area. Like, it'd be nice if there was more than 4 alternate arts. They don't gotta go crazy like Pokemon, right? But like, it is nice to always like open up something, often, and every 2 boxes you see an alternate art, and it's like you could have certain alternate arts be more rare than other alternate arts, but I think having more than 4 alternate arts would be really cool to see per box. And then OBL packs, same thing too. For the number of OBL cards 3 alternate arts were perfect. Obviously I want more. I'm always gonna want all of these arts to be completely unique and different, but if they can't do that, I think this was a good amount. If they up the OBL card pull, I hope they up the alternate art card pull too. I hope the rate for these guys also goes down. It seems like it's been pretty hard to pull these as well. And they probably aren't hard to pull, but just for how little packs we get for playing, you know, like our store gives out a certain amount of packs per player every day, or not every day, but like every tournament. So pulling these alternate arts has been kind of tricky for some of us. The last thing I want to talk about are the transmorphing potions. I don't think we're going to see them this set, but I hope we do see them eventually. It would be cool to get like the mutant pets or get, you know, transform a pet instead of a paintbrush, or, you know, you have a rainbow pool full of different pets and then you have your basic cow and you're like, I'm going to transform it into a fairy Irie. And then you do, you know, like it would be really cool to see that. I'm not sure what the need would be, but I think that the idea would be really cool. There's some pets that I think that are only obtained through a morphing potion or the Labre. So like they don't have like mutants, I don't think has a paintbrush. So you would have to use one of the morphing potions or the Labre on them. And since they said there's no Labre coming out soon, maybe there's going to be a potion coming out soon. Well, I think that was all my predictions. I am really curious to see where I land with my predictions. They have announced they're going to release a roadmap for next year. Today is the day after Christmas, so December 26th, and it's a Thursday. They normally go live on Fridays. So if they go live tomorrow and they show the roadmap, then this video will be, well, I guess depending on what they show, but I'm still gonna post it and see where I land with my predictions. All right, well, in the meantime, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.